mark your points. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm using a Sharpie, but I wouldn't use a Sharpie. Alright, then you get your sleeve. And somewhere here is a sleeve. You take your sleeve, and the long part of the gusset, I've redrawn the gusset so that it's a little longer on one side to take into allowance for the shoulder, the sleeve shape. And so you take the long side, right, and you put the long side along the edge of the sleeve. I normally don't pin, but I'm just going to show you because it's a bit more easier. You stick the pin in. I'm doing about just over a second. I'm just using about a 3/8 seam, but you can use whatever as long as your dots are on the seam line. And I get down to my dot and I don't sew through it, but I do want to reverse. Okay, so now we have, it looks a little like that. I'm not going to take the machine. Okay, and then I'm going to sew this side, the other long side, to the other side of the sleeve. And I have done one side the wrong side and one side the right side. Don't worry about that because I'm okay. So this, let me think about this. This is going to go at the top, and this is going to go at the bottom. I'm going to sew it from the gusset side so I can see the dots. I put my needle right down where the sewing ended on the other side. I've left this seam open. I'll show you that in a minute. Take a couple stitches of reverse. And up here I can sew across the seam. Alright, so now if I turn it to the right side, I'm actually not going to do that yet. Then we're going to sew the rest of the sleeve seam. This is the little piece you bend up. Get it out of the way, you don't want it to catch that. You put your needle down right where the sewing ended. Take a few stitches, go back, come forward. Sew to the end of the sleeve. Now we have a sleeve with a gusset. So now we're going to take our body, this is my pretend body, and we're going to put the sleeve right side out. Okay, we're going to figure out where the top of the sleeve is, where it's going to join. You can mark it, or you can crease it, or you could clip the seam a little bit, whatever. You're going to put your body, I always find it's easier if I have the body sort of inside out. And I'm going to put the sleeve inside, like that. I'm going to pin it just so you can see. And I'm going to take it, and I'm going to take it all the way down, and I'm going to put a pin in here to tell me where to stop, or you could mark it with a marker if you don't want it. So only where that pin is on the gusset, I'm going to stop my machine just there. I'm going to start at the seam. I'm going to take my pin out. Go about 6 inches below or whatever and grab it so that it doesn't, don't worry about the stuff yet. My machine always stops needle down, and but try to stop with your needle down, because when you're readjusting your fabric, it holds on to it for you. So if your machine stops needle up, make sure that you turn the flywheel until it goes needle down before you do any adjusting. So you keep sewing all the way down until you get to that point. Slow down. Take your needle out, stop, and then you back up. Okay, now I'm going to do the other side. And my cat is meowing. My daughter's cat's meowing in the background. Oh, shush up, Azulu. Mommy's busy filming me. I'm going to put a pin in, but I'll take it out. And this time I'm actually going to sew from the inside of the sleeve just because it's easier. I always, because I didn't back tack here, I just start a few stitches above so that it locks the stitches. And just use my right hand like that. Stop, needle down, remove the pin, hold on to it. When you're holding on to fabric, fingers on top, thumb on the bottom, and sort of rotate it up, and that puts a little bit of pressure. You don't pull on it, but you just hold it firm. Needle down. This time I'm going to hold it down here. Do that dot. Okay, I'm going to sew. I'm just going to adjust here because I've gotten a little wonky out. Okay, I'm just sewing to the point in the gusset. Slow the machine down. If you need to, you can turn your flywheel, go right to where it ends, and back up. And then, now that you've got your sleeve in, you take your little corner of your gusset, hold it out of the way, and then you take your side seams, right where the gusset and the sewing ended, the last little bit of stitch, right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and down your side seam. And you make sure your side seams are even, like I'm doing. Okay, gusset's done.